Hello, my name is Maheen Kasoor, and I'm sitting opposite Joel Franey, who has played and reviewed Pokémon Scarlet and Violet. I've heard things here and there. Let's get the worst out of the way. Tell me about the overall look and the graphics of the game.
Well, I'm not allowed to swear, so that's going to make this difficult. I don't care about graphics most of the time, and these are pretty hostile. It's lag, it's popping, it's cut frames of animation, it crashed a couple of times.
No.
It is pretty ropey. Maybe this gets sorted by a later patch?
Oh no, because I was speaking to Sam during the preview and she also said very similar things and I was hoping they would fix it. But yeah, let's hope for a patch. You know, it's good that I'm hearing all the bad stuff because I can put this to the back of my mind. Yeah. Just enjoy the good parts. Arguably the biggest part of the game, what was the open world experience like?
So it's interesting. I mean, it pretty much lives up to the boast conceptually. The moment it goes, right, you can go anywhere, I went, okay, and I put a pin in the northernmost point, and I thought, I'm going there. And aside from one bottleneck bit where you kind of have to fight someone to get through, you can get to the top. And I was, encountering level 50 wild Pokemon while my team was still level 20, and I didn't have any gym badges under my belt yet. It's not an empty boast. They are doing what they say. Yeah,
I imagine also that you can't catch like the level 50 Pokemon straight away, right?
You can. This kind of is this is kind of the problem. You can catch them. They won't obey you, so there's no reason because you don't have badges. So then you would think, okay, I could go to the highest level gym because the gyms don't scale. Mm-hmm. They are, the highest, the toughest ones are always tough, the easy ones are always easy, no matter what point you are in the game. So you think, I got it. I'll just go to the highest level gym, grab the badge, and everything will do what I tell you. Except they don't, because Pokemon obedience is based on the number of badges you have,
right? Not
the highest level one you have. So you beat this, super gym leader who's
interesting,
and it goes, well done. Pokemon of level 20 and up will now obey, or 25 and up, or whatever it is. And you're going, okay, so there is an open world that allows you to do it in any order, but it's also clear that there is an order to this, and there's not a lot of incentive to break it.
The auto-battling feature, what does that even feel like?
Basically, as you're walking around, you can summon the first Pokemon in your team, and it just wanders around you, and it scoops up any nearby items, and will auto-battle them in a snap. Like, literally, they bump into each other, a couple of signs come up, and your team gets some XP. Not as much as if you'd fought it properly.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, but it sort of means you can just, train as you go. Yeah. You just walk around, and it follows you and tackles things of its own accord. And there's clear types do matter. So if your Pokemon has a type advantage, it has a much better chance of winning. Level advantage matters. It's a very simplified, it's all right. I mean, it's kind of inoffensive because all enemy trainers are optional now. There's a lot more reason to do it in that you just walk into a crowd of wild Pokemon and just throw it out, and it's quite efficient. It gives good reason to do it as you're going, if you're just walking somewhere.
So how was leveling up in general? Do you get an EXP share in this game?
Yeah, it automatically, all your teammates get XP.
Crafting and the TM system, how did you find that?
To start off with, it's a pretty small list. Early on, I wasn't really doing it because there wasn't much of a reason to. That is probably the one area in which the open world makes more sense, because if you're going up against enemies who are tougher than you because you're choosing to go out of order, it's quite nice to have a thing where you go right, fairy type stuff up ahead. I'm going to go make some steel type TMs.
Yeah.
And that'll help.
Oh, that's really exciting. That makes complete sense. I want to know all about the raid battles and the terastallizing, all that. What is it? What is it about?
So terastallizing is the new mechanic where you can change your Pokemon's type. So every Pokemon has its standard type, and it also has its Terra type.
Yeah, and it adds to it, right?
Yeah, so, it swaps to whatever your Terra type is. So let's say you have Pikachu, which is electric, but its Terra type is water.
Yeah.
It's always electric, but then you activate terastallizing and it becomes water type.
Is that additional to electric type, or does it swap?
It replaces it.
It replaces it.
It also means that any moves your Terastallized Pokemon has that match its Terra type get a buff. So I quite like it. It means you can exchange your weaknesses for other weaknesses, and it adds a little layer of extra layer of tactical thinking, and the fact that you can only do it once per Pokemon Center visit means that it's got to be a little bit carefully used.
So how do you get one of these Terastallized Pokemon?
So any Pokemon can Terastallize.
Okay.
Very early on, they give you the item that allows you to do it.
Oh, okay.
But for most Pokemon, their Terra type is the same as their standard type.
Oh.
So most Pikachu you find will be Terra type Electric as well as standard type Electric.
Okay.
But there's special raid battles and wild Pokemon that are clearly marked. They have a distinct glow.
Yes. Okay.
And their Terra type is wildly different to what you'd expect. So you might find a raid boss Pikachu that is poison Terra type.
Right.
And then you can catch it and add that to your thing, and now you've got this sort of wild card element to play with. You can find about halfway through the game something that allows you to change Terra types.
Oh, okay.
Like a service. But it requires so much investment as to be borderline useless.
Mm-hmm. So first of all, tell me, what did you think of the Team Star path?
The whole framework of this game is that you are going to a school. You are at the Naranja Academy.
Oh, right, yeah.
And for some reason they then go like, right, you've had about 2 classes. Now
Pikachu?
off into the wider world. We don't want to see you again. Team Star are effectively the school bullies. Basically, they have like lieutenants dotted around that are sort of these optional hard boss fights.
Okay.
And each time you beat one, there's a little bit of story context as to Team Star and where it came from and how it works. So it is probably more nuanced than most of these sort of Pokemon enemy types. Yeah, they're fine. They do the job.
So your first gym leader was the hardest one,
Yeah.
and you beat it.
Yeah.
How did you do that?
A lot of grinding, basically.
Okay.
Again, it's this contradiction, as we mentioned, where it didn't feel like there's any reward for going for the highest level stuff first. You kind of get rewarded the same whether you went for that or the easy ones. So I did the highest level ones, and I thought, wow, that's impressive that I managed to do that. And then there was just a sense of de-escalation as you do all the progressively easier ones, and you're going, yeah, I mean, that I guess this is a real sense of falling action.
I guess there's
now.
no incentive if you've beaten the hardest one first. Obviously, you're reviewing it, you got it early, there's not many people out there in the world that have it. But did you get any sense of the co-op?
Nope.
No.
I would have liked to, but we only got one code, so we couldn't
yeah.
do local online, and servers aren't up until launch day.
Okay.
So physically haven't been able to try co-op yet. I plan to
Yeah.
on launch day, and hopefully we'll have some stuff written
We can
about
play
it.
it together, Joel.
Yeah, exactly.
It's fine.
Me grumbling at the other end.
So, did you get a chance to do any of the picnic stuff and play with your lovely little Pokemon?
I did, and immediately had a strong sense to do anything else. I mean, it's the picnic thing from Sword and Shield, but now there's a sandwich building mini game
Right.
that gives your team buffs, and I guess it's worth doing because buffs are helpful. Make very rare special sandwiches, and it boosts the rate at which you can find shinies, which I know will drive people insane.
Mm-hmm. Finally, I think one of the things everyone is going to be interested in, obviously, without spoiling too much, is like the Pokemon design.
I think they're moving out of the pets with powers remit quite strongly.
Okay.
So there's a lot of like quite humanoid looking ones that just
no.
look like it's a bit Digimon, to be honest.
Oh no!
I quite like the motorbike legendary that on Scarlet.
Yeah.
It's a bit over designed. Beyond that, there's some that are very basic designs. I don't think I'll remember many of them when the game is over.
Right. Okay.
It's a game I wish I liked more than I did. Now that doesn't mean I hate it. It's a real hand wave because it's got some really interesting ideas. It's got some interesting themes. The open world is good in theory.
Mm-hmm.
It's just really struggling to stick the landing on a lot of these, and the technical performance, as has been observed by everyone, it's not good.
Okay, so what is your score, Joel?
A 3 out of 5.
Okay, well, you could read Joel's full review that's up on GamesRadar. It should be by the time this comes out. Thank you for chatting with me. I'm going to go collect my thoughts. And remember to like, comment, and subscribe to GamesRadar's YouTube channel. See you all later.